if I had a draft of the SEC and the Big Ten, just the SEC and the Big Ten, if I could draft top 10 coaches, let's lay it out and let's see who you think are the best coaches. 10 through 1, I will draft coaches. The 10th best coach, SEC and Big Ten's Mike Riley. Listen, he's one of 6 active coaches with NFL experience. He's been coaching for 41 years. And one of the things I always said about Mike Riley, 7-2 in bowl games. Winning as coach in Oregon State's history and having lived in that state, it is hard to win. 7-2 in bowl games. That's a top 10 coach. Paul Chryst at Wisconsin. He's 14-4 at Wisconsin with a win over LSU and a dominating win over USC in a bowl game. He was also a solid coach at Pittsburgh. I think, I've said that before, I think Wisconsin's the surprise team in college football this year. I thought they were 6-6. I thought they were 6-6. I can't believe they beat LSU. I think my 8th best coach would be Bret Bielema because he led Wisconsin to 3 straight Rose Bowls, and I think that's really hard. That's really hard to do. Wisconsin's a good program. It's not a top 10 program. It's tough academically. It's geographically isolated. It's cold up north. Number 7, Pat Fitzgerald, who I believe is one of the most underrated college football coaches in the country. First of all, Northwestern's a small, tiny school in a state without great high school football. He led them to 2 10-win seasons. They've been in 6 bowl games under Pat Fitzgerald. Okay, the standards for Northwestern, when I grew up, it was the worst program in the country. The fact that he not only wins, he beat Stanford last year. That he goes to bowl games and has 10-win seasons is remarkable. Number 6 would be Kevin Sumlin. Only 5 teams have more wins against ranked opponents than A&M under Sumlin. Now, he was on the hot seat last year. A lot of people thought he was losing quarterbacks. There's a lot of questions about Kevin Sumlin, but I think he's offensively a very gifted coach. They've never gotten the defense right, although they have the best pass rusher in the country this year. I'd put him 6. Number 5, Kirk Ferentz. I don't love what they do with their out-of-conference schedule, but he's been the Big Ten Coach of the Year 4 times. He's in a state with no players. He's in a region with depleting and eroding number of high school players. They've been to 13 bowl games, and they put a ton of guys in the NFL. Number 4, between SEC and Big Ten, if I could draft the top 10 coaches, Mark Dantonio. Okay, he's got 5 10-win seasons at Michigan State. And they've scheduled tough out-of-conference games. He doesn't do patsies like Iowa. They play big-time games, big-time bowls. Now, they're not Alabama, but historically they're not Alabama. 5 times as the number 2 football program in his own state, he's won 10 games. And he's finished last 3 years in the top 10. Number 3, I'd put Jim Harbaugh, and I'd put him higher, but the 1 and 2 guys are hard to beat. Let's just be honest about this. He led the 49ers to a Super Bowl. He's been an NFL Coach of the Year. He's only halfway through his 2nd year, and he's got 11 blowouts. What he is doing from recruiting to line play at Michigan, what he did at Stanford, the way he changed the culture, he is absolutely a remarkable coach. 2-1, you can go either way, but I've always felt Urban Meyer's the best college football coach in my lifetime, so Saban 2, Urban 1. Nick Saban is Nick Saban. And he will get number 1 coach all time in college football. But I've always said with Urban Meyer has rebuilt 4 programs like Bill Parcells virtually overnight. The last time these 2 guys met, Urban Meyer beat Nick Saban. Urban Meyer makes young players better faster than Nick Saban. Urban Meyer's got a better bowl record than Nick Saban. The last time they met, and Alabama went in as a favorite, Urban Meyer beat him. That means something when you're a favorite and lose. So I'd go Saban 2, Urban Meyer's 1.